Welcome to Water Wisdom, sponsored by waterfilters.net. I'm your host Aquaman, and this video is Big Blue Install Part 2.
Now that I've got the cap mounted to the mounting bracket, the next step is to disassemble the union and attach it to the outlet side of the water line. Come and see. And this could have been done at any stage, really. I could have done this when the union was sitting over here. It doesn't really matter. This piece of the union comes out and is going to attach to the end of this water line, and then this whole thing will attach back onto this union. And I'm going to do that right now. Now that I've attached this union piece to the outlet side of the water line, I'm going to reassemble the union. Now that I have the cap fully attached to the mounting bracket, this is basically filter changing 101. I have my empty sump, I have my filter cartridge, and I have my food grade silicone grease. I'm ready to go. For starters, I'm going to lubricate the entire course of threads on both the sump and the cap. I've already done the cap, and just take me 1 second, get a glob of food grade silicone grease, and lubricate the threads all the way around on this sump. Then, the O-ring on a brand new unit does not come lubricated. I have lubricated mine already, as you can see perhaps, the glistening food grade silicone grease. I filled the entire groove with a small amount of food grade grease, and then lay the O-ring in, make sure that it seats down nicely. Do not use any other lubricant. You will regret it when your seal puffs up like a big balloon and springs a leak in the middle of the night. Now, I have my filter cartridge here. This is a DGD-5005-20. It is a dual gradient polypropylene spun sediment filter. 50 microns on the outer layer, and then it slowly gets tighter in a gradient fashion down to 5 microns in the center. This is an excellent way to capture a huge array of sediment. Iron that's oxidized can be captured in this fashion. Iron that's still in solution can't be captured that way. It needs to be oxidized first, but if it's oxidized, it can be captured. If you've got color in your well, if you've got sand coming out of your well. In my case, I just want to remove microscopic sediment for my municipal water supply here. Now, I also have a small insert cartridge. This is a polyphosphate cartridge insert. And inside, there are beads of polyphosphate. In this case, it is a hexametaphosphate compound. These beads are going to slowly dissolve into the water, and what I'm doing here is I'm using the less expensive method of softening without softening. It's not really a water softening agent. What it is it's a neutralizing or sequestering agent. It dissolves into the water, bonds with hardness minerals, making it impossible for those molecules to bond with one another, and it also coats the surface of all metal plumbing parts. In the inside of my hot water heater, for example, all the water lines, faucets, shower heads, etc., will have a microscopic coating of polyphosphate, which makes it impossible for hardness minerals to accumulate and form scale on those surfaces. It doesn't remove the hardness, it just neutralizes it. It's an inexpensive way to do that. And this fits neatly inside the center column of the cartridge. So, I have my empty sump, nice and clean. If you were changing the cartridge, you'd want to make sure there wasn't anything left behind from the previous cartridge change. Now I'm going to insert my cartridge into the housing, making sure that the center column seats down on the post that is found in the bottom of this sump. And now I'm going to attach the sump to the cap. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, just like any other screw. Notice that I am not using the filter housing wrench, as that is not appropriate for tightening. I could tighten it too far and crush the O-ring. This is a hand-tight procedure only. And I'm almost there. And then get a good grip. Nice and hand tight. One more time, just to make sure. And we're good. Now that I've got everything attached, I need to turn the water on and check for leaks. Down here are my valves. I'm going to open up the valve, inlet, and outlet. Nice and slow. Don't want to burst anything too rapidly. And then I'm checking here where I made connections, and also up here in the union on the inlet and on the outlet side. And so far, no leaks. We're in business. And there you have it. A complete installation from beginning to end of a 20-inch Big Blue filter housing in my hot water closet. And I'm not a plumber. Anybody who can fix the toilet when it doesn't flush can do this job with a little help from their local hardware store. Went down to the hardware store, got a couple of parts, wasn't exactly sure, asked the guy, he had what I needed, a couple dollars in extra parts from what I had here already, and we're in business. And now I've got filtered water and a polyphosphate cartridge insert. There you have it, whole house water filtration, sponsored by waterfilters.net. I'm your host Aquaman, and thanks for watching.